I have.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Maurer. I appreciate your testimony, as always, at this hearing. Let me begin by asking General Lanive, I want to, there's press reports that Operation Epic Fury was using for the first time a low-cost unmanned attack system, a one-way attack drone. This is part of a trend, I think, a positive trend within our military to bring cutting-edge technology in an operational environment with speed and relatively low cost. Can you talk about the development of the Lucas drone, the timeline it took, and for any of the other vice chiefs, are there other next-generation capabilities that you want to highlight that you think are in that category of speed, effectiveness, efficiency in terms of the development of new and important weapon systems? General?
Sir, thanks for the question. So Admiral Cooper and team at CENTCOM did a fantastic job developing this and putting it into service incredibly fast. It's a great example of why we went to our PAEs to get faster turns on producing equipment for our soldiers.
Are there any lessons learned? I mean, I know it's early days, but any lessons learned on how you're doing that and that you can replicate?
Sure. I think, there's going to be a lot of lessons learned over the next couple, weeks as we come out of this. And Admiral Cooper's team is going to feed this to us. I think it's going to help us see how fast we have to produce this at scale, how we have to work on our industrial base in order to help us do some of the advanced manufacturing to get these into the systems. We know we have to do this at scale. Thank you, sir.
Other witnesses on that issue in terms of next generation capabilities that are being rapidly developed?
Chairman, thanks for the question. An example I can give you for the Marine Corps is our work with first-person view one-way attack drones. So these are small Group 1 type drones that are obviously armed. And we have the Drone Dominance Task Force down in Quantico, and the Marine Corps attack drone team have been working very hard on this to rapidly field a capability for a majority of the force, but starting with our infantry battalions. And they fielded over 1,000 systems. They're going to field about 3,000 more, we think, this month. Wow. And by the end of this month, every active duty infantry battalion in the Marine Corps should have this capability. And we look to continue to scale that, see what other type vendors might come forward with the capability, but it's something we're moving out with really quick, sir. Thank you.
Admiral?
Sir, I'd just offer the Forward Strike Group deployed with, we talked about last year at this Readiness Committee, the want of directed energy, which we need to get after so we don't use our high-end munitions to deplete low-end threats to us. The Forward Strike Group deployed with a number of systems that we bolted on her that aren't completely integrated but are effective against counter-UAS. So being willing to field things fast, learn, and then spread across the force. We're going to spread that same capability on the West Coast Strike Group, I think is an example of what you're getting after. But we've used examples from our sister services to have that counter-UAS capability, which is so prevalent, and we're seeing today in Epic Fury.
Good. Anyone else, General?
Chairman Sullivan, a couple of years ago, the Air Force developed the Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System. We made some adjustments to that, to be clear, and called it Falco, a air-delivered munition that is on orders of magnitude cheaper, but very effective, but orders of magnitude cheaper than other systems.
And is that being used now?
We got it from idea into employment in about 3 months, and you can be rest assured that we are advancing other capabilities that we'd be happy to address with you at higher levels of classification.
Great. Good. General, okay. Do you have something, General? No? Okay.
No, sir.
Let me
Closed
ask,
session.
I just wanted to touch briefly, General Levy, General George and a senior group of Army enlisted and Army generals were in Alaska just 2 weeks ago. Admiral Kilby, ISEX is happening this week up in Alaska. Can you describe some of the work that you're doing in the Arctic and making our northern flank more secure. We talk about the Western Hemisphere. That includes the Arctic, of course. But I'd like to get many takeaways from General George's visit. And Admiral, I'm always interested in what the ISEX goals are going to be.
Sure, thanks for the question, and thank you for the support of the 11th Airborne.
Yeah.
My daughter served in
America has another airborne unit. We always like to remind people that it's in Alaska, not just the 82nd anymore.
Sure, I commanded the 82nd. There's a good, healthy, fight going back and
That's
forth.
what we want.
Yes.
Good rivalry.
Sure, my daughter was in 125, before this, turned into 11th Airborne. That name, it's just not a name alone. It's a culture that's being developed up there. And it's an incredibly important culture for the identity of the unit. So we thank you for your support. We're learning a lot from the exercise that just took place. A couple that were propagated across, our formation. Batteries, how the Arctic, can drain batteries really fast, and we have to get after technology to help us on that. And that's gonna go across our formations. We're learning about equipment that's specialized for the Arctic. Our Cat Vs, we have about 30 right now. We're going to try to scale up to 180 here over the next couple of years. We know that those are incredibly effective in the Arctic. And the team up there is passing feedback back to us constantly on what they're learning up there. Equipment, soldier clothing, and how to get this at scale for our team up there, and to take those lessons and, like I said, push it across the force. But we really appreciate the support from you up there, sir.
Great. Admiral, I'll defer that to the next round. I want to be respectful of my colleagues here. We got over. Senator Hirona?